All right, today we're going to look at how we add and subtract fractions when we do not have the same units. Units is another word that we use to describe the denominator, since the denominator is telling us the size of our pieces. Today I want to think about if we were going to add 2/5 plus 1/3. When looking at those, I know that my units are not the same. So if this was a cake or a pizza, I would know that my pieces were not cut in the same size pieces. Some of you might already know your multiples of 3 and 5 and know that they have several that they share in common. If you don't, you may want to come over to the side and write down your multiples until you find the first one that they share. I'm going to start with my 3's. I think I'll stop there because I know that all multiples of 5 end with a 5 or 0. So I have found out that they share 15. This lets me know that my new name for these fractions needs to have 15 as my units. If I am changing 5 to equal 15, I know that I multiplied that by 3. In order to make an equivalent fraction, we're multiplying by a fraction equal to 1. So this would become 3/3. Or in short, what you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. 2 times 3 is 6. That is my new fraction name. Now I'm going to look here. 3 times 5 is 15. Since I know I have to multiply this by 5/5, 1 times 5 is 5. Now that I've renamed my fractions, I am ready to add these together. 6 plus 5 is 11 over 15. That fraction is a regular fraction. It doesn't need renamed, and I am ready to move on to the next problem. Subtracting frequently works the exact same way. If I were looking at 9/10 minus 2/5, I still see that my units are not the same. I am looking for something they have in common. Right off the bat, I realize that 5 is a factor of 10. So I know that I can use 10 as the common unit for these. 5 times 2 equals 10. And what I do to the bottom, I'm going to do to the top. 2 times 2 is 4. When I look up at my first fraction, I realize that I didn't change that, so I do not have to change that. That fraction was already in the units that I wanted. Now, I'm going to take a real quick glance back and realize this is a subtraction problem. 9 minus 4 is 5/10. While in 5th grade, we are totally okay with you leaving that 5/10 because we are looking for any equivalent answer. Some of you may also be thinking, I know that 5/10 is another name for 1/2, and it is completely fine if you want to write that as 1/2 as well.